Hello, my name is Sally Pinto, and I'm the Program Director for the Yonkers NORC, Neighborhood Naturally Occurring Retirement Community. We serve seniors 60 plus in Northeast Yonkers. We are under the auspices of WJCS and the Yonkers Office for the Aging. We also have a resource specialist and a nurse on staff. We conduct virtual programming in partnership with the Yonkers Public Library on a daily basis. Enjoy the program.
Morning, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good day so far. Let's go ahead and get right into the work. So as always, we start with our chin tucks and our head turns. So whether you're seated or standing, you're just up nice and tall, roll those shoulders back and down. And let's go ahead and we're just going to slightly tuck the chin back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, now we're going to go ahead and turn our head from one direction to the other for 5, always coming back to center in between. Ready? And begin. Turn, center, turn, center. 3, center, 4, center. 5, center, 6, center, 7, center, 8, center, 9, center, and 10, center. Good. Let's go ahead and shake that out. We're going to do 10 4-count chain breakers. Okay, remember it's a 4-count. Remember, we pull the chain apart for 3, squeezing the shoulder blades together in the back, and then on 4, we open all the way up and feel that chest through, or that stretch through the front of the shoulder and chest. All right, 10 reps, seated or standing. Ready? Begin. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 1, 2, 3, 8, 1, 2, 3, 9, and 1, 2, 3, and 10. Good. Real quick, we'll just do a little neck and trap stretch. We're just going to pull and press, just holding for about 5 seconds per side here. Good. And then the other side. Good. All right. And our last move in the warm up here is going to be our 4-count cherry picker with arm circles. So if you're seated, you're at the edge of your chair, your feet come out wider than your shoulders. Okay. And we go out, middle, in, and then an arm circle. Okay. So if you're standing, you're wider than shoulder width. It's out, middle, in, and arm circle. Okay, I'll do 5 seated and 5 standing for the visual. Ready? And begin. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. 2, 1, 2, 3. 3, 1, 2, 3. 4, 1, 2, 3. 5, 1, 2, 3. 6, 1, 2, 3. 7, 1, 2, 3. 8, 1, 2, 3. 9, and 1, 2, 3, and 10. Good. All right, guys. We are starting with our cardio session first today. Okay, so we're starting with 2 exercises, 40 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest for 3 rounds. That's 5 minutes. Remember, you can always start late with the exercise if you need a little extra rest time, or you can stop early if you need a little extra rest time. Okay, it's your choice. The first round I'll always do seated, and then the next 2 rounds I will do standing. Okay, so you pick which one works best for you. All right, so the first move we're going to do for 40 seconds from a seated position is our butt kicker with our pull back. So you're at the edge of your chair, right? You're gonna pull like you're rowing a boat, right? You got oars and you're rowing a boat, and you're alternating a toe tap behind you, okay? So we're getting the back and we're getting the hamstrings as well. If you're standing, that looks, all right? Nothing new here if you're with me every week. And then the next one, we're going to split up. For 20 seconds, we're going to do one side. And then for the other 20 seconds, we're going to do the other. From your seated position, it's our knee repeaters. So we're going to, for 20 seconds, we're going to bring that knee up and pull those elbows down. Okay, and after 20 seconds on that side, I'm going to tell you halfway, we're going to go to the other. So if you're standing, 20 seconds on one side, okay? You can put your weight on that standing leg, okay? All right, so here we go, okay? Starting with the cardio session first today. And we're starting with those butt kickers with the rowing pullback. In 3, 2, and 1, we are on. So you're seated here, you're tapping those toes back. If you're standing, you're pulling that heel back towards your butt. Well, it's called a butt kicker, right? Go at a pace that's comfortable for you. Like I said, if you need to stop a little early, get a little extra recovery time, it's totally fine. Okay, this is your workout. The important part is that you showed up. You're being consistent about it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, okay? We're gonna do 20 seconds of knee repeaters on one side of the body, and then I'll tell you when that halfway is up, and then we'll do the other side. 3, 2, and 1, here we go. Go at a speed that's comfortable for you. I like to do a nice sharp exhale as my knee comes up and my elbows go down. 5 more seconds, 3, 2, 1, switch sides. Should feel your core engaging here. Arms should be feeling a little tired maybe. Feel the top of the leg working, 2, and 1. Good, okay, back to the top, to those kickbacks with the row, the butt kickers in the row. I'm gonna go to standing here. If seating is better for you, please stay seated, okay? 2, 1, here we go. So think of rowing a boat, how you pull those oars behind you. That's the motion that you're making with your arms. Just think of squeezing those shoulder blades together as those elbows come back. We're also working the back of the leg, the hamstring. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, shake it out. We're going back to our knee repeaters. 20 seconds on one side, 20 seconds on the other. In 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Seated or standing. Exhale as my knee comes up. We're going to switch in 3, 2, and 1. Okay, other side. Good, almost there. 5 seconds. 2, and 1. Okay, shake those arms out. We have one more round through of both. Okay, we're going to go into our first strength circuit. Okay, back to those butt kickers with the row. 2, and 1. Here we go. Seated or standing. At your own pace. If you need to recover a little bit more and you're not ready to start yet, take that time to do so. Okay. You're here, you're moving, and that's what's important. 10 more seconds here, and then we're all done with these for the day. 2 and 1. Okay, shake it out. Repeaters, half on one side, half on the other, and then we're gonna move on. We're gonna rest and move on. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. 20 seconds on one side. We're gonna switch in 5, 2, and 1. Other side. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Okay. Get a rest. That's our first 5-minute block, our first cardio block that we went through. Okay, should be feeling like you've warmed up a little bit here. We're gonna get a drink. Now we're gonna go into a 9-minute block. And strength movements. You can do this with or without your weights, okay? If you don't have weights, you're practicing on connecting your mind to the muscle groups you're using, okay? So staying very present, all right? And trying to move your joints through their range of motion the best that they can, okay? So our first one is going to be a sit squat, okay? So up, down. You can optional weights here. You would hold them at your sides. You do not need weights, okay? If this, and you move at your own pace, okay? If my pace is too fast, move at a pace that's good for you. I'd rather 5 quality reps than 10 ones that weren't so great. Do you understand? So, and then after that, or I'm sorry, your modification for that one is going to be an alternating leg extension. So if it's just too much to get up and down, go ahead and here. And here's another thing, guys. If you're somewhere in between, maybe you want to do 6 leg extensions and then stand up, sit down, and then 6, 5, 4. You see what I'm saying? So you could always try to make it in between for yourself there too, okay? If you're not quite at just leg extensions and you're not quite at all sit squats, okay? All right, now talking. Next one, curl to press. This looks the same, seated or standing, okay? With or without weights, right here. And then our last one is when we combine the two. We did this last week, okay? So we stand up, sit down. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Stand up, curl, press, sit down, stand up, curl, press, okay? Or if you're remaining seated, it's leg extension, curl, press, okay? All right, so remember the first round I'll always do seated, and then I'll move to standing for the remaining 2 rounds, okay? 45 seconds for each movement, and then 15 seconds per rest. And as always, work in your capacity. If you need a little extra rest, please take it. Okay, so we're starting with our sit squats. So here we go in 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going to do the alternating leg extension because I'm doing the seated variation for the first round, okay? If you're doing the seated variation, I want you to think of flexing that foot and really extending that leg straight so that you feel the top of the leg working. That's the muscle we're really focused on right here. And having a flexed foot helps engage that muscle. Okay, so work on that mind muscle connection and think about what it is you're doing. Here we have 8 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we're going to move into our curl to press next. Okay, so you grab your weights, your water bottles, your soup cans, or just body weight. Okay, seated or standing. Here we go in 3, 2, and 1. Curl, press, bring it back. Okay. Think about how this is functional in everyday life. You got a box, you want to put it at the top of your closet or something like that. You want to be able to reach with that box and be able to lift it up overhead and put it away, right? So we're training for realistic, you know, movement patterns that we do every day in our life. You know, as I say, use it or lose it, okay? Here we go, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, good. Now, the third one is where we put it all together. So you're gonna do a stand up and then curl to press and then sit down, or you're gonna do an alternating leg extension with me and then a curl to press, okay? 2, 1, here we go. Leg, curl, press. Okay, and remember, if you're doing the more advanced version right away, when you stand up, when you're standing is when you add your curl to press, and then when you finish the curl to press and your arms are back down right here, you sit down. Okay. And this will, after we're done this exercise, this completes our first round, and then we're going to go ahead and do that same circuit 2 more times. I will move to standing for the next 2 rounds, but please feel free to stay seated if that's what's best for you. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, back to the top. All right, so we're going to do our sit squat first. I'm going to start from a seated position. When the timer goes off, I'm going to drive up. I'm going to press the weight through the heels of my feet and stand up straight. 3, 2, and 1. Up. And then tap down, or you're doing your alternating leg extensions, okay? Just like I did in round 1. Really squeezing my glutes at the top. You do not have to go at my pace if my pace does not work for you. Listen to your body and move with your rhythm, okay? That's the nice thing about doing things for time, is we can all get the appropriate amount of reps in for ourselves. 3, 2, and 1. Recover. I'm going to stand because I'm going to the standing version. Next, we have curl to press. You can still remain seated for this one. Okay, so just the upper body here. In 3, 2, and 1. We're going to curl, press, bring it back. So bicep when we curl it up, shoulders when we press it up. And think how biceps we use a lot throughout the day. I think of even things like pulling wet laundry out of the laundry machine, you know, you're pulling up, you're using those biceps. Good. We have about 10 seconds left here, and then we're going to put those 2 moves together. That's 5, 2, and 1. Good. All right. So if you're seated, remember you're going to do an alternating leg extension to a curl to press. And if you're doing the sit to stand, if you're doing the squat, sit squat, we're going to stand up, curl and press, and then sit back down. Here we go. In 3, 2, and 1. Stand it up, or leg extensions, and then your curl to press. So we do the 2 movements separate, right? And then we add them together. We did this last week if you were with me. The more joints we can get moving through the body in an exercise, you know, the harder we're working, the more calories we're burning, because the more muscles we're activating. So this is very much a total body movement right here. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, we have 1 more round through. Okay, so we're going back to our sit squat, sit to stand, or our alternating leg extensions. Okay, last round through. In 3, 2, and 1, and stand up and tap down. And as always, just a reminder, if it starts to catch up to you, listen to your body. If you need a little extra recovery time, it's okay to stop a little bit early or start a little late. We're chasing quality over quantity. We want to do these movements well. Good, 10 more seconds here. Then we give our lower body a break. We go to our curl presses. 2 and 1, excellent. A little bit of recovery time here. Those sit squats can be breathy. Get our heart rate up a little bit here. All right, curl presses next. Seated or standing, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Curl press, bring it back. Excellent, and just past halfway. Good, 10 more seconds here. That's 3, 2, and 1. Okay, recover. We put those 2 moves together now. So either your sit squat to stand to curl to press, or your alternating leg extension to curl to press. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. So we've got our ankle joint moving. If you're, well, at least if you're doing the opposite to stand part here, we've got the knee joint moving. We've got the hip joint moving. We've got the elbow joint moving. We've got the shoulder joint moving. All right up the kinetic chain in the body. We've got everything working right now. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work, guys. That was 9 minutes. Okay, take a rest, get a drink. Okay, I'm going to explain our next cardio conditioning component. Okay, so we're going back to our 40 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, and it's 2 exercises and their body weight. Okay, so we are going to be doing, okay, okay, so I have, this one's a little bit new today. We're going to be doing a step back lunge with an arm raise. So if you're seated, I want you to think of those butt kickers that we did in the first one, how you're on the edge of your chair. My knees aren't at 90, they're actually at my, a little bit wider of an angle. I'll show you from the side here. See that? Like right here, like I'm not right here, I'm right here. Okay, that way I have more room to tap back, okay? And you've got 2 choices. You can either arm raise it up, both arms, like this, okay? If that gets too tedious for your arms, okay, then you can do an alternating, okay? And actually, I did that wrong. Let's do, still did it wrong. Opposite hand and foot, okay? That's when we work opposite hand and foot pattern. That's really good for our cognitive health, okay? So opposite hand to foot. So they're your options. You're either going to do both arms. If your arms get really tired and you've got to, see, it's hard. See, there we go. There we go. Now I got it. All right, so you can work with that. And then if you're standing, this is where it's going to be new. You're doing a step back lunge, okay? So you're, see that? I'm just tapping back and tap, tap. All right, so what happens is your arms kind of have that leverage and your arms have to give you a little bit of balance as you tap back, okay? There's a slight bend in that front knee, okay? And then we bring it back to center. You could always use the back of your chair and take the arms out of it and just tap back and tap back if you're somewhere in between the 2, okay? The one after that is our seal jacks, okay? So whether you're seated or standing, seated, tap, tap, standing, tap, tap, okay? All right, here we go. We're gonna start, remember round 1, I'm always seated. We're gonna start with the step back lunge and the arm raises. All right, so 40 seconds is going on the clock. Here we go. In 3, 2, and 1. Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat and I'm gonna lift. All right, remember, if the arms get tired, you can always alternate the arms. We have 20 more seconds here. Good, 10 seconds. Two and one. Okay, good. Next we have our seal jacks. All right, so knuckles are facing, but when you come open, they're facing behind us. Okay, we're gonna tap, tap. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, begin. So we're getting hip abduction here, as well as working on our posture muscles in our back. Arms are tired already. You can always shake it out a little bit if you need to. I need to. That's why I'm doing that. 20 more seconds here. Good. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Shake it out. That's round 1. We have 2 more rounds. I'm going to move to standing. All right. So we're going to those step back lunges. All right. Here we go. We're going to step back. You're kind of feeling me that you're giving me the toe tap if you're seated here. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, shake it out. We have our seal jacks next. And again, if you're a little more advanced, you can always throw in a couple regular ones too. Okay, it's up to you. You can just stay right here as well, or seated. Feel a little stretch as we open up in the front of the arm. And feel the squeezing of the shoulder blades in the back. 20 more seconds here. I'm sore from my workout yesterday. Boy, am I feeling these today. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, shake it out. We have 1 more round to go through, and we're going to go through another 9-minute strength circuit. Okay. All right, so back to our step back lunges with the arm raise. Here we go. Go at a pace that's comfortable for you. Training our legs single leg right here. It's good to train our legs single leg, all of our limbs, our arms and our legs, to help with muscle imbalances we may have within the body. Nobody's symmetrical and even on either side. We all have slight imbalances here and there. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, shake it out. Seal jacks again. And then we move on. All right, here we go. 2 and 1. Here we go. Remember, you can put a little more intensity into this if you like. I'm just listening to my body. I worked out hard yesterday, and my body's saying, no, not today. So I'm listening. 15 seconds. Almost there. 5, 2, and 1. Good job. Shake it out. Rest. Get a drink. We're going back to our next strength circuit. It's set up just like the first one, where we do 2 separate movements, and then on the third exercise, we put those 2 together. So this time, we're going to be doing our side step sumo squat. So from a seated position on the edge of your chair. You're going to squat, just kind of like our seal jab squat. And then, and your feet kind of stay wide. So you squat, tap, tap. And then you're going to upright row. Okay, so if you have weights right here, if you don't have weights, just mimic the movement. Okay, think of the top of your shoulder working here. Okay, so that is how you're going to do it seated. You're going to tap, 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 tap. Okay, so the legs stay wide. If you're doing it from our standing position, it's side step, row. Okay, all right, so I said that wrong. The first one's just the, that's our last one. That's our last one when we combine it together. The first one is just the sumo taps or the sumo squats. And the second one is just the upright row. And then the one I just demonstrated for you is our third one, okay? All right, so let's go ahead. First round, we're going 45 seconds on the clock, okay? So starting with our side step sumo squats, I will be seated for this first round. Here we go in 3, 2, and 1, begin. Side step, side step. I really want you to think about it. If you're seated here, I'm not coming all the way back in. And I want you to feel that you're kind of working back here, okay? That's our glute medius. Really important to helps keep our knees and our hips safe, okay? And strong. Helps with our balance a lot too. So it's a small range of motion. Tap. Two and 1. Good. Next we have our upright rows. Okay, so with or without the weights, you're just pulling up through the shoulders or through the elbows here. Okay, 3, 2, and 1. Remember, quality over quantity. Okay, if you feel like your form is breaking down or you're feeling any kind of pain or anything like that, please rest. All right, maybe reduce weight if you have weights and it's too much. You can just, release the weights and do the rest body weight. Okay, so there's different ways you can progress or modify your workout routine. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Shake it out. Now we're going to combine the two together. Okay, so it's going to be sumo squat, upright row. Okay. And in 3, 2, 1, here we go. Tap, tap, and then I'm going to come in the middle, upright row. Tap, 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 or squat, squat. Remember, think of that little muscle group, the side of your glutes. Okay, the side, not the back side of the glutes, but the side. Good. All right, back to the top. I will be standing for the next 2 rounds. Please remain seated if that is better. We're going back to our side step sumo squat or those lateral taps. Okay, here we go. In 3, 2, and 1. Squat, together, together. Upright row. Okay. Squat, together, squat, together, upright row. This one's fun. Squat, together, squat, together. My favorite of the day right here. Squat, together, squat, together. Ten more seconds here. Wait, did I do this one wrong? We were supposed to just do this side step. I'm sorry, guys, I'm confusing myself today. If you did that with me that way, we're still going back to upright rows again. What I'll do is we'll do just the plain side steps on the last one, okay? So just upright rows here. And begin, whether you're seated or standing. And if you're not using weights, the target muscle group, and if you're using weights too, is the top of the shoulder, right? So you think about how, just visualize that muscle contracting. Even if you're not necessarily feeling any kind of contraction through the muscle or anything, it's, you know, sleepy muscles, sometimes it takes a little bit of time to turn on a muscle group if they're not being used a whole lot, okay? So don't feel discouraged, just keep connecting your mind to it. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, since I kind of confused that last round, now we're just going to do the sumo squats or the side step taps, since I did the last one first on the second round. So just sumo squats, and I apologize for the confusion. Here we go. I think I was just really excited to do the combo. Like I said, that seemed to be my favorite one. Ten more seconds here. 2, and 1. Good. We have one more round through, and I'm going to keep that reversed order. Okay, so now we're going to do our side step squats or taps to our upright row. Okay, so just like round 2, I'm going to do it that way again. 3, 2, and 1. I think it was the transition from seated to standing that kind of was like, yeah, this is still a different exercise, but up. I'll say, I do like it. Almost there. 15 more seconds, and then we're going to go just to our plain upright rows. Five seconds. 2, and 1. Okay, recover. We've got just upright rows next. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Into the top of the shoulder. Almost there. 10 seconds. 2, and 1. Okay, relax. We just have side step sumo squats or our lateral tap sumo squats. Okay, if you're seated. All right, and then we're going to rest as I explain our last cardio circuit. And we have one more cardio circuit after this. Here we go. Move at a pace that works for you. We're almost there. We're going to rest after this. Got 10 more seconds. Last 5, 2, and 1. Great work. Okay. Rest, get a drink. The next 40-10 for 3 rounds that we're gonna do is our overhead tricep extension. So you can hold 1 or 2 dumbbells or water bottles, depending on their weight, okay? Like this. Or you can do, if that's a hard range of motion for you, you can go into a tricep kickback right here. Okay, where I'm just kind of leaning forward and kicking back. All right, so either or, I'm going to stick with the overhead tricep extension. And we're going to do that, and we're going to do that with modified jumping jacks. So instead of our seal jacks, we're coming up overhead now. So seated looks like this. Standing, you know, it's the same as the seal jack, only the arm position is a little different here. Okay, so first round I am going to do seated, and then after that I will go standing for the next 2 rounds. So 40 seconds is going on the clock. 1 or 2 or no dumbbells. Okay, just we're working the back of the arm here. In 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Remember, you can always take this to a kickback if it's not comfortable to have your arms overhead. And you do not even need to have weights in your hand. You should be able to feel, again, with connecting your mind to the exercise, when you pull your elbows up straight right here, you should be able to feel your triceps tighten up and get a little contraction there, okay? Getting that blood flow to them is how we keep those muscles active, right? It helps them from atrophying. 2 and 1, okay? So from here, we're going to get rid of weights if you're using them, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a modified jumping jack. 3, 2, and 1. And of course, if you're advanced, you can always add a couple of regular jumping jacks into the mix of your modified, just to kick it up a notch. That is totally up to you and your ability. And sometimes your mood too, right? Some days, you know, our best is better than other days, but as long as you're bringing your best to the table, then that's fine. You know, it's nothing to get discouraged of if you're like, oh, last week I was doing it this way, this week not so much. I mean, as long as you tried your best, that's really all that counts. That's all that matters. 2 and 1, okay. Going back to our tricep extensions, or you can do the kickbacks. I am going to standing for the next 2 rounds here. Okay, here we go. Show you a side view what it looks like. Remember working the back of the arms. And sometimes I hear people call them like the bat wings, or, you know, the hang part when you wave, all that. Almost there. Ooh, I feel mine every week when we do these. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, if you're using weights, you can go ahead and put those down. We're going into our modified jumping jacks next. Okay, and 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Seated or standing. Almost there. We have about 10 seconds left here, and then 1 more round through, and then we're on to our final strength circuit, our final 9-minute block, and we're done. 3, 2, and 1. All right, great. Last time through. So we are going with our triceps. And again, with or without weights, or again, if this is too much, remember you can always come to this option right here. Just like that, okay? Seated or standing. It's the extension of the elbow, making the elbow straight and the arm straight, that works that muscle. Alternatively, it's the bend. When we do a bicep curl, it's the bending of the arm that works that muscle. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, all done with those. Last round of our modified jumping jacks. Okay, seated or standing, and if you're feeling strong and you want to add a couple regular jumping jacks into your mix, go ahead. I like to think of my arms like a snow angel. Remember, like when we were kids, like making snow angels in the snow, and trying to think of my body like in between two panes of glass, right? So what I mean by that is, I'm trying to stay narrow with myself. I'm not trying to go too far forward. Now, sometimes we have body limitations, like, you know, I'm trying not to do this, but you work within the range that you have. Sometimes we have limitations in the shoulders, and relax, that don't allow us to come up all the way, and that's fine. But you know, it's just something to strive for, is you just try to keep yourself as straight as possible. All right, last strength, just like the first two, we are going to do, whether they're seated or standing, a bent over row. So from a standing position, it looks like this. This one's the same as last week. I didn't make any changes to this one. And when you're seated, it looks like this, with or without weights. Okay, and then after that, we're going to do our hinge, okay, or our Romanian deadlift. So that's where we're bending over and then standing up. It's through the hips. Okay, so what it looks like from a standing position is my hips are really what's hinging here. I'm pushing back. My upper body comes forward. I'm trying not to round. I'm trying to keep my shoulder blades pulled back and then up. You should feel, when you're standing and doing this, you should feel a big stretch in your hamstrings right here. And then think of using your glutes to stand you up straight again, okay? And then the final exercise is combining it. Row, stand. Row, stand. Okay, same thing, seated. Row, upright. Row, upright, okay? All right, so this is it. Final 9 minutes, let's get to it. I think we're gonna get done at 10 on the dot here. Okay, you know I like these long sessions, don't I? So you're doing good long. I can't help it. We need to add all this in. Okay, so here we go. Starting with just our bent over row. Remember, I do everything seated for the first round. Here we go, 3, 2, and 1. You choose if you want to be standing or seated. So we're working our back muscles when we do a row. So think of like underneath your shoulder blades, behind and underneath your armpit here a little bit. They're your lats. That's what the main muscle group is that we're working. The arms are secondary. You're getting bicep work in there. Remember how I said the bending of the elbows works the bicep? So you are working your biceps here too, but the main muscle group you're using right now is your back. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, next we're gonna do our RDL, our hinge. Okay, so I'm gonna do this from our seated position. Remember, if you're standing, you're pushing those hips back. Okay, it's not about squatting down, it's about the hips going back and you lean forward. Keep the shoulder blades retracted. Either way, here we go. So when you're seated here, think of trying to keep your spine nice and long. All right, and look at a focal point in the floor in front of you so that your neck stays in line with your spine. All right, you're not trying to, you don't want your chin to tuck into your chest, okay? And take your spine out of alignment here. You should actually get a relatively decent if you're staying nice and long through the spine. Think of that marionette string, that puppet string holding you nice and long. You should feel a nice stretch here too. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, 15 seconds to recover, and now we're going to put both of those movements together. So we're going to Hinge forward, row, and then stand back up or sit back up, okay? Here we go, 3, 2, and 1. So hinge forward, row, up. Again. This is another fun one. Good, 10 more seconds here, and you go back to the top. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so now we're gonna go just to our bent over row, starting at the top of round 2. Okay, so I'm gonna move to standing, but please remain seated if that's best. Okay, get ready. And 3, 2, and 1. I'm gonna go ahead and bend it forward. Okay, I'm pushing my hips back. Keeping the elbows close to the body, close to the rib cage. And I'm thinking of my back muscles pulling the weights up first. My arms are secondary in this movement. Look at a focal point in the floor in front of you. You don't want to have your head tucked too much like this. You don't want to be looking up too far above you. Just think of keeping that neck in the same alignment as your spine. Good. 10 more seconds here. Remember, you can always start late or stop early if you feel a little too much intensity. 2, and 1. Okay, recover. All right. We're going to go to our RDLs, our hinge next. RDL stands for Romanian Deadlift. So it's the back side of our body. All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. So I'm pushing my hips back. My chest and shoulders comes forward. I almost try to make like a nice flat table with my back. The dumbbells or my hands stay close to my shins. And I feel that real nice deep stretch at the bottom. And then I squeeze my glutes. Almost like that's what's making me stand back up straight again. Ten more seconds here, and then we're going to put first 2 exercises together. It's 3, 2, and 1. Good. 15 seconds to recover. Then we're going to hinge down, RDL down, row, and then finish the hinge or the RDL. Okay? Seated or standing. Here we go. And 3, 2, 1. We're going to go ahead and bend down, row, and then finish. Use the glutes. That head and spine in that neutral alignment. Working the back side of the body, and the upper body and the lower body, okay? There's not as much, with both a squat and an RDL, you're working your glutes. But with the RDL, you get a lot more hamstring with the glutes. And with a squat, you get a lot more quad with the glutes. 3, 2, 1, which is the front of the leg, the quad. All right, final round through. Bent over rows for the last time, seated or standing, in 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Bend it forward, push the hips back, elbows close to the rib cage. Think of the back muscles pulling those weights up. Or, just those palms up, okay? They're going body weight. My knees are not locked out. I do have a slight bend in my knees if you're standing. Remember, you can, if this is a lot of pressure on your lower back, you can always shave a little bit of time off the end here. Stop a little early with that 10 more seconds. 5, 2, and 1. Good. Shake it out. We're going to our RDLs next, okay? Almost there. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. All right, so pushing the hips back. My knuckles kind of graze my shins. Keep my shoulders retracted back. Keep my head in a good focal point at point on the floor in front of me. A little bit of head in front of me so that my spine stays in line with my neck. All right, feel that stretch on the hamstrings when you're down, and then squeeze the glutes to bring you back up to standing. Almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, final movement. We've got 40 seconds of work and we're done. We're going to put those 2 movements together. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. So hinge, row, up. Good. Halfway. Ten seconds. 2, and time. All right, guys, put your weights down if you're using it. Okay. Quick stretch out right here. We're going to do our neck and trap area. So I'm going to hold on to the side of my head. I'm going to press and pull and stretch out that upper body, neck. Inhale and exhale. Could you be seated or standing? Take a seat here. Good. Same thing, other side. Gently pull on the side of the head here and press down with the other. And feel that release all through the side of the neck and the upper trap there. Good. From here, let's go ahead and bring our arm across, all right, stretching out the upper back. Seated or standing, take a deep breath. One more. Same thing, other side now. Deep breath. Deep breath. Good. And then let's go ahead and stretch out our groin. My favorite stretch here, if you're from a seated position, you are sitting on the very edge of your chair, okay? And you're leaning forward, you're finding that stretch through the inner thigh and groin area here. Okay, if you want to stand, you're kind of taking that same stance here, and you're just pushing back. You can hold on to the chair in front of you here, okay? So just stretching out the one side. Good, bring it back to center. All right, and we're gonna switch sides, do the other. So just remain seated right here. I feel it great from this position as well. Hold on to the back of the chair and do this up, or maybe you just do it just like this and find your balance this way. You might notice one side's tighter than the other. All right, back to center. Let's go ahead and inhale it up. Palms together, hands to heart. That's 1, 2 more just like that. Inhale up, palms together, hands to heart. And last one, inhale up, palms together, hands to heart. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's workout. Let me know.
Hi, everyone. This is Z from Yonkers Public Library. Thanks so much to Sally Pinto and Alexis and Barbara from Newark. Thank you to our community partners, WJCS, the City of Yonkers Office for the Aging, Westchester County Legislator Ruth Walter, Friends of Crestwood Library, and Yonkers Public Library for making this phenomenal partnership. And we thank each and every one of you for being part of our wellness community. Be well, stay well.